Music has helped influence change since, well, as long as there's been music. It might be because it crosses language barriers or sparks emotion, or maybe the vibrations of music are just built into humans' DNA, helping to soothe our souls and make sense of the world. Whatever the reason, there are many examples of music influencing and inspiring change. The Bible, in which parts were written as far back as 1200 BC, mentions more than 185 songs for everything from funerals to battles and love songs. In the Middle Ages, English peasants sang a song called the Cuddy Wren, which was a coded anthem against oppression by the king. The song became a rallying cry for the peasants' revolt of 1381. Yankee Doodle was originally sung by British soldiers as a diss on the colonies, but Americans turned it back on the Brits after winning Bunker Hill, then remixed it into a call to action for the Revolutionary War. Strange Fruit, made famous by Billie Holiday in the 1930s, was about southern lynchings and civil unrest.
Black bodies swinging in the southern breeze, strange fruit hanging from the poplar trees.
Music has contributed to just about every social issue we humans have faced, from abolition to women's suffering to human rights and to war. In the 60s, music that inspires change came to a golden age, with protest songs for civil rights and against the Vietnam War. Sam Cooke's A Change Is Going to Come, Aretha Franklin's Respect, and CCR's A Fortunate Son are just a few examples. Studies show that our hearts often synchronize to the beat of music, and our limbic systems, which control emotions, light up when we listen to music. So it's no wonder, in the face of today's controversies, music influences us, spurring us forward and sparking change.
Thank you guys for joining me today to talk about music and changing the world.
No problem.
Yeah, it's no problem.
Good to be here.
Okay, so I know you two like listening to music, you two like making music. What type of music do you two listen to?
I know me and him have different flavors of music, but I can listen to anything, really.
Yeah, I listen to mainly just rock. You know,
what's like the main stuff you listen to?
Like hip hop and pop for sure.
Alright. What type of music do you two like to play?
We both like to play a lot of like classic rock and even some pop, so
yeah, it's more around that area since that's where some of the best music for guitar playing, because that's the main instrument that we both play. He also plays a trumpet as well, and I play the bass as well.
So what is your guys' favorite song about change right now? Because you know there's a lot of stuff going on in the world, COVID, Black Lives Matter, there's stuff in like Palestine and stuff, all that stuff going on.
Yeah,
what's your favorite song right now?
I feel like the main one is probably Lil Baby, The Bigger Picture.
Yes, I'm sure that's what a lot of people are going to say, because that's like, it's so like motivational. Yeah, and if you just listen to what he's saying, everything he's saying is so true, and everything's just so messed up. What about you, Bruce?
Yeah, probably the same, man. You heard Wishing for a Hero by Polo G?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's like, got the same concept as the...
I guess one that really stands out in my mind is kind of like Imagine by John Lennon. Mm-hmm. He talks about kind of like being peaceful in the world, and that kind of, I think that kind of relates to today. Everything should be peace and peaceful again.
So how do you guys think that current world problems have affected music? Like Black Lives Matter, COVID, politics, like the election, how everybody was torn on that stuff?
It's given music itself and heavy feel more emotion to when they write the lyrics, so there's just like a little more meaning, and there's a little bit more of that thing that kind of, relates to everyone.
Everything that the artist pours out onto a paper is kind of a reflection of what's been going on in the world and what kind of injustices have been faced and stuff. So I think that it really influences a lot of artists because they talk about some of the real world problems that needs to be changed and fixed.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I feel like there's a lot of hidden meanings behind like pop and like rap songs, and I feel like country music's just kind of upfront with the story and moral of what they want to tell.
Alright, so what are your guys' feelings about like artists speaking about the problems in the world and their opinions on things?
I was about to say, if we were to like look back in history about how you say musicians and like politics, like again, John Lennon, he did everything. So because the U.S. government said, stop talking about Vietnam, stop talking about the war, or we'll deport you back to England.
And look what happened.
Well, nah, they
They got him before you did.
well, nah, they told him to stop, so he stopped.
Yeah, I think. I think, especially music should be such a safe place for artists to like pour out their feelings into their work, and so I feel like music should just be a safe place, whether that be political, whatever they may want to speak about.
Alright, thank you guys for joining us today in our discussion about change in the world and music.
Thank you for having
No
us.
problem.
No
man.
problem.
It's great to be here. Great to be here.
We are TBH from Cahoots Coffee Cafe, and today we're going to show you a little bit about change. So this trick, nothing in front of the car except this guy. Nothing behind the car. Done. It's one continuous shot. Change is always happening. No matter what you do, no matter where you go, change is the only constant. It's happening everywhere, every when. You need to learn to make the most out of your changes.
Doing this in case no one else does on the mic, cause got the culture to keep that buzz. Echoes of what I was, let go to control the talent show, but my flow may lock up. Increase the mock run, can't walk or start, then I can't stop. Third year on stage up here, don't matter if I'm actually here. Still same chit chatter written on a page. I'm immature, not sure to me, I sound deranged. Might be similar, but I'm self-made. Proving myself before y'all knew this is a loud thunder. After all the rain, been in the game reworking to these runs are exactly what I'm used to. My talents, music with editing. Yeah, you ought to hear me just as I hear you. Oh, the whispers are what I hear most. I can't rap as a yes to who knows. You chose to pick out my flows, but have no idea what's in my soul. Wanna try to take a stab at this? It always starts with the risk. Wanna say you can rap it better? Let me count your attempts. Oh, you say that I'm really lacking? Please try to suggest. Unless it's said for no reason, then keep it inside your head. I think I always have room to improve, like what you heard last time. So when you hear me right now, you should remember how much I tried. Don't ever even try to deny all that I can do. Music and everything to me, editing is a part of it too. No, I'm math's another to include. I wrap the chain rule with the power rule into a question for you. What do you think's a derivative of y squared plus x with all of that cubed? You do the chain rule, changing the cubed to a 3 in front and a squared, and then the chain rule inside, finishing that off, finding the derivative of that to equal 0. And then you would distribute the first part with the second part, and then you would divide everything, leaving dy over dx on one side. You know what? Screw it. We'll get back to that later. After this rapper can master the beat faster than a lyrical rap god. Wonder if my listener slow me down. Syllables flying up and down all around like hell nah. Breath myself a mess with the speed of sound. Put to the test. Ace it like your color need count. Popping off my words. Reload all the burns better than wild now. Cause my style's without doubt. This mask can't hold back my lyrical ability. Says this with illusions but can be meant literally. Maybe what I'm good at, but no actuality. I'm here then in the clear to get my degree. Should've guessed, but let me rephrase. You can do what I do to amaze. Know that it takes more than a few days. Can't just wake up and think that you're one of the greats.
Hi, I'm Aiden. How did you get started as a musician?
I started playing drums at a very early age, around 4 years old. Don't know why, because none of the rest of my other musicians. My mom played piano, and my grandmother played cello. My brother was a guitar player, but I picked up drumsticks, and then my dad bought me a drum kit when I turned 5. And I've been playing ever since.
Tell us about some of your accomplishments as a musician.
Well, I've been blessed to have a bunch of accomplishments, thankfully. Band called Tears for Fears. I was in that band. They had a bunch of hits in years. Their biggest song ever was called "Everybody Wants to Rule the World." So even kids these days usually know that tune. That was a huge break for me. I got to play on the last Genesis record. Phil Collins quit the band, and I got hired to play on that record, which was a huge accomplishment for me because they were my favorite band growing up as a kid, literally. I idolized Phil Collins as a drummer. I studied everything he did, and then I got to play on a Genesis record, which was crazy cool. I've had a couple of original bands that have had a decent amount of success. One was called Spock's Beard, and the other one I'm in right now is called Big Big Train. We're doing pretty well. We're planning tours and made a bunch of records. And then I was in a Cirque du Soleil show called Totem Records. I just released a solo record last June called Invisible. So it's quite a bit. And now I work at Sweetwater playing drums and doing other things musical here at this place. So it's been quite a ride.
Hi, I'm Judah. What changes have you seen in music since you started playing?
Well, all kinds of things. It depends on the context of what you're asking. I mean, there's changes like how people listen to music has changed a lot from listening to vinyl, which was around a long time ago, and the only way you could really get records or cassettes, and then that died, and CDs came out, and then vinyls come back, and now there's all the streaming stuff that's going on these days. That's a huge change over the last 30 years. The musicianship of a lot of people has gone to another level, otherworldly levels. I mean, it's sort of like athletic kind of a thing. They've taken it to the nth degree. It's really amazing. So those are two big, huge things, I think.
Do you think music can influence the world, such as politics, social behaviors, or pop culture? If so, how or what are some of the things that you've seen?
Oh, it definitely can. There's a lot of bands and artists that have influenced pop culture over the years. I mean, everybody from like Bruce Springsteen, who's still doing it today, and he's been doing it since the '70s, to bands like U2 and Radiohead and all kinds of bands like that. Even lots of pop artists, Madonna and Lady Gaga and stuff like that. They definitely have their opinions, and they're not afraid to voice their opinions. And they're such huge artists that a lot of people listen to what they have to say. So they definitely influence pop culture and the views of a lot of people out there. I think they have a very strong platform to speak from. You might not always agree with what they say, but they use it for those kinds of purposes quite a bit.
Hi, I'm Flynn. Who are your favorite musicians for inspiring change and why?
It could be anybody from bands like or artists like Stevie Wonder, who was heavily into civil rights and things like that, and turned a lot of people on to what it was like to be a black kid growing up in those days in the '60s and '70s and stuff. Good at putting those real world experiences into song, into pop, really popular groovy songs. So maybe turned a lot of people onto the plight of that kind of thing who maybe didn't know it was there or it existed. I think again, I can mention Bruce Springsteen again because he's so vocal in his politics. I don't agree with everything he says, but he's definitely in the forefront of that sort of thing.
Hi, my name's Auburn. How easy or hard is it to break into music today, and what advice do you have for young musicians?
But it's always been hard. It wasn't easier when I was a kid. It's still the same. You gotta just dedicate yourself, be the best musician or art or singer or whatever you do as you can. Go out there and be seen and meet people and network and create relationships. It doesn't matter how good of a musician you are if you're not out there engaging with other people. COVID and all the pandemic aside, because when we get back into normal life, of course, it doesn't matter how good you are, if you're not out there engaging with other folks and creating relationships and making music together, it's really hard to I think become successful. I think that's really part of the whole overall thing. So it's definitely hard, but you just, life is hard. So you got to just go for it, practice, and then get out there and play.
What kinds of things would you like to see and hear from young or new musicians?
Well, I would like to see young musicians learn from the past and then meld it into today's day and age. There's lots of cool musicians doing that already. Like Jacob Collier is one of my favorite musicians of the day, and he's a young guy who's really influenced by jazz and music from the past like that, and he's turned it into a really special thing that's very modern. So I think learning old school stuff and turning it into what's going on now, I think is really hip. And I like to see young musicians kind of go down that road. I think it's cool.
Hi, my name's Murray. What do you still hope to do to help change the world of music?
Oh gosh, I don't know. For me personally, I'm just trying to put out the best music I can and entertain the best that I can. I think music brings uh, all kinds of emotions to people, but definitely happiness. And I want to see the world get back to normal so I can get back out there and be an entertainer like I really love to do. There's nothing like seeing live music and having the community of people together like they're at a concert going crazy and listening to your favorite songs. It's magical to say the least. So that's what I hope to get back to here soon.
Is there anything above all else that you'd want people to remember about this interview?
Oh, these are pretty heavy questions. Just that, music is if we're speaking about music specifically, music is a great thing to, it does so many beautiful things. It can make you happy, it can make you sad, it can make you want to do things, it can give you energy, it can make you mellow, all those kinds of things. It's a wonderful thing, and hopefully I maybe helped inspire a little bit to kind of, especially if you're a young person, to get out there and work and play some music because it's fantastic.
I will fight.
Little Bob, the monarch caterpillar. He stayed hid in Chennai instead of his son. One day I noticed Bob making a chitterly on the side of our house. We waited 10 days while Bob came inside of his chitterly. On the 10th day, his chitterly turned clear. And we could see him. We could even see his face. A few hours later, he popped out like boom! It only took 5 minutes. We made a video faster. He needed to move his wings to get his body flowing so he can fly. How did I know Bob was a boy? Boy butterflies have a little spot on their wings. I waited and watched, and it a good thing because Bob fell on his back. He couldn't get up. I helped him up. We took him to the milkweed bench. Butterfly need milkweed for food and to drink. He got on and flew away. Thank Bob, and I will meet you and goodbye.
They kissed goodbye, didn't know it'd be their last. The war would take him really fast. piece of paper would break her heart. A telegram of Johnny's that she's torn apart. What will their son Bobby ever do when asked of the father that he never knew?
What is life without changes? Time constantly rearranges. People come, people go. It doesn't really matter what you know.
Bobbyland, down Little Rock Way, round and bored, had they say. Rosa Parks took the seat. Civil rights refused defeat. Bobby caught the protest craze. Miss Little Hope's important days.
What is life without changes? Time constantly rearranges. People come, people go. Doesn't really matter what you know.
Who got a job, moved to West Germany, working with men who make twice the money?
Watch the wall fall, spread of HIV.
Joined the war in the Middle East. And when she loses some trade, oops, he sees a very day.
What is life without changes? Time constantly rearranges. People come, people go. All that really matters is what you know.
Jay grows up too fast. Math makes nothing last. What's this world for anyway? 9/11 claimed way too many lives. Will COVID ever go away? And then there's always me too. Black Lives Matter, so do blue. When will we get a clue? Wonder if it's ever gonna be alright.
What is life without changes? Time constantly rearranges. People come and people go. Maybe all that matters is how you grow.